and we're stacked today. Russell Copeland's going to join us at 1:30. We got football today at 2:40. That's right, Steelers, Ravens. It's a go, baby. It's a go. We got crazy stuff today at Hardwood at 2:30. I got Lou Holtz info. That crazy Lou Holtz person. I just can't stand that guy. Oh, but anyway, I'll tell you about Lou Holtz. Also, Drew, how are you today?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you?
Do you notice how most people don't smoke in the world today?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess you really don't because you're not that young. When I was growing up, like I remember getting on airplanes and people be smoking and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you get in a back of a what is those wagons? They don't even have them anymore. You ever seen those stupid? I can't even think of what they're called. Just a wagon. It's like you face the other way that you're not going, and all the kids get in the back. The ladies are sitting up front, just smoking heaters like it's going out of style. You would go in the grocery store. People would be like picking up heads of lettuce, looking at it, and they're smoking heaters. Everywhere you went, people are smoking heaters. Everywhere. I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing we don't smoke heaters all the time anymore. There's a gentleman today at Hardwood. I'm going to tell it's not funny, but now I know why not ever it's good. It's a good thing, just not just because of cancer, but smoking can be very detrimental to your health in other ways. I'll explain that. Again, football. Russell Copeland. We're going to talk Navy, Memphis, Tulane. We got all those good things. Plus, me and Cope will talk about the NFL. How are they being fair? Or are they being fair? Well, how are they handling different compared, like Denver compared to Baltimore? We'll talk about how they're trudging through. We do have football today, and I wanted you to hit me at 67129. Got a couple questions for you. Right off the top, are you enjoying college basketball? 67129, or if you want to call 901-360-8255, you can hit us up. I want to know, are people enjoying college basketball? I will tell you one thing. I know it feels different, and what I'm basically kind of getting at, watching Duke, Michigan State, watching Duke basketball without the crazies is something that was different. But you know what? It's weird. I've gotten used to this. Watching baseball, watching football without fans, watching all these sports, the NBA down in the bubble. I know that the fans, I can't wait for that day to come back, but I will say it is a very different experience. But I thought it was going to take a lot more from the college game. I thought it hasn't. The play on the field has been absolutely wonderful from football all the way to the hardwood in basketball. Are you enjoying college basketball? I know I am. That Kentucky-Kansas game was dope last night. Kansas came back, but I will tell you, dude, you called it a 2. His foot was on the line. I could have used that dead gun point not being there. -4. Instead, I got a loss. But Kansas did beat Kentucky. And then Michigan State finally. Tom Izzo beats Duke. It's almost a miracle. It happened. It's the first time in 10 tries. So he's now 1-9 at Cameron. Me and Drew are going to talk about that in the leadoff here in a little bit, I believe. And also, I got to bring up something at 67129. We're talking college, and I'm about to talk a bunch of NFL. We're about to do the leadoff. We got all kinds of things going on. We got the College Football Playoff Committee. They came out and did their rankings last night. NBA, LeBron got paid. All kinds of things going on. Oh, and baseball. Woohoo! Like from Eddie Rosario, looks like the Twins are going to move on from him to basically Rob Manfred. You know what? We've got it all. Hit us up at 67129. Last but not least, did you know that today is Britney Spears' birthday, Drew?
I knew it was my niece's birthday, but
No
I did not
way.
know it was Britney Spears' birthday as well.
Do you know why it's so cool? I knew it was Britney Spears' birthday because I remember when I saw Britney Spears when she was first came out, and everybody loved Britney Spears. I know that sounds kind of crazy. I didn't know her music, but when I was young, dude, I loved me some Britney Spears.
You just like the videos.
Yeah, the videos were great, dude. But the thing is it's not just Britney Spears' birthday. By the way, she's 39. That's kind of crazy in itself. But do you know who else's birthday it is?
Who else?
Britney Spears and Aaron Rodgers share the same birthday. He likes dating famous women. Let's set them up. We got to do this.
I don't think that's going to work out.
It didn't work out with Danica Patrick, but Britney Spears is a lot crazy. Aaron Rodgers, opposites attract. He's very controlling. That would be a perfect situation. Britney's daddy controls her from all the headlines. I watch all this TMZ stuff. Don't worry, I know. So anyway, I just had to bring that up on the side real quick, but I will tell everybody, we're about to get to the leadoff. Before we do, I want to remind you, The entire hour is brought to you by my friends at MemphisFarmers.com. And my friend is Chad Gatlin. And he's going to be your friend too, especially in your time of need. And I'm going to tell you right now, everybody's going to have that happen. Sorry, life is peaks and valleys. When you get on top of those peaks, it's great. But getting out of those valleys stinks. If you want to get out of a valley because somebody stole your car or ran in the back of you, or God willing, if somebody passed away, anything, I mean, God not willing, but you know what I'm saying? Somebody, you make sure you have insurance if that did happen, is what I'm saying. God willing, you have insurance. But anyway, you know what I mean? Like everything that's important. If you have water damage to your house, if somebody breaks in, you make sure you want to have renters insuring if you're renting, so all your possessions are safe. Insurance for your car. You need insurance? Go to MemphisFarmers.com, get a fast quote today, or call Chad Gatlin, 901-235-1176. 901-235-1176. Absolutely free consultation. Just call him, get a feel of him, and I will tell you from experience, there is nothing better than having somebody who actually knows this city. I had a situation happen to me early, and that's why one reason I switched to Chad. It was a nightmare. I had the big box realtor, insurance agent, whatever you call it, and I'm just like, all right, got to go online, call the claims. I got some lady that's in like Pennsylvania, then a lady in Washington. Nobody was in Memphis. It was hard for them to get the people here during the COVID. It was a nightmare. Chad Gatlin, Memphis born, Memphis bred, a Memphis man till he's dead. Go to MemphisFarmers.com or call him at 901-235-1176. He'll be there for your time in need. Let's do the leadoff.
All right, big news of the day. LeBron James has signed a 2-year, $85 million extension. Not extinction. I don't know why that popped in my head, but how long, realistically, will LeBron play? By the time that extension is up, he will be 39.
Ooh, let me tell you a little secret. I'm thinking to myself, he's got at least 3 years to 4 years. Because everybody says that he's going to wait to play with his son, Bronny, who's only 16 right now. And I know that's not like some scientific way of looking. Look at his age. How many points does he have to get to on top of everything? How many champions? Look, LeBron's 35 years old. Nobody takes care of themselves like LeBron James. He is a beast. Yes, he plays a lot of playoff games. He puts his body through a whole lot. But he is built like no other human being, and let's just be real. Dude could have probably done a lot of things. Could have probably played football. He's one of the best basketball players ever. He's a bad man. And by the way, he's a big, big human being, and he still runs like he's 25 years old. He doesn't run like a 35-year-old man. He's fluid. He moves. He spends a lot of money on his body. He takes care of himself, and he wants to play with his son. I think he's got at least 4 more years. At least. I say he plays, 5, because I say he goes to I say at 40 years old, he's like, yo, I did it, 40, and now I'm out. Peace.
See, I think he actually plays about 5 or 6. I'd say even closer to 6. I mean, because realistically, he hasn't slowed down. By this time, you're supposed to start to slow down. Your role is supposed to diminish. You're supposed to kind of not be the same guy that you were 10 years ago. But LeBron looks the exact same at 35 as he did at 25. As far as productivity goes.
The only thing that makes LeBron look old is his hairline's going back a little bit.
That's
it. Besides that, like if you don't, you do like the cut off the head and just do the body, he's probably even more chiseled now at 35 than he was when he came in the league.
I'd say so. I think he's probably in better shape.
He's yoked. He's flat out yoked. And LeBron James, he's not like other people. We talk about other athletes. Right now, people are talking about Tua Tagovailoa in Miami. Oh, man, injury-ridden at Alabama, but we want him because he was great. Now he's going through a thumb issue with Miami and didn't get to start last week. Will he get to start this week? There's all these questions about, realistically, Tua's durability. There's issues about people's durability. LeBron James is such a blessed human being, and it's because he takes such good care of his body that he doesnto break down.
Is it care or is it just flat out luck?
I think he has the genetics, but it doesn't matter if you have the genes. You still have to put in so much work. So he is lucky in the fact that he's 6'8", 260 pounds. But man, he's just he takes care of himself. He doesn't party, doesn't drink. I mean, he drinks, but not, you know what I mean? He's not out there hitting shots of all kinds
He ain't
of
got a booze problem.
Rumplements, and he's not having an issue like my man Appling at Michigan State with heroin or anything like that. That'll be in Hardwood as well. But LeBron has everything, but who also works harder than LeBron James? Not many people out there. And when you combine those two, that's why they call him the king.
Very well said. All right. I saw this story on Twitter and read an article. I haven't seen it a lot of places, but we're going to run with it because it just gives an example of why I hate Rob Manfred so much. And any excuse I get to hate on Rob Manfred on the radio, I'm going to do it. So the story came out yesterday and today that Rob Manfred is seriously considering and actually looking at prices to put sponsorship patches on uniforms and back of helmets. So my question is, why does Rob Manfred hate baseball?
It's a great question. In fact, I don't know if a lot of people really notice around here because we don't jump into baseball as much as anything, but Roger Goodell is not the most hated commissioner in sports anymore.
Not by far. Rob Manfred clearly head and shoulders more hated.
I mean, you talk about his handling of the coronavirus. You talk about the roles. The biggest thing for me is when it started was the Houston Astros, how he handled the Houston Astros, their cheating, how he handled Crane, how he handled the coaches, Cora, everything. Rob Manfred, bad for the game in that aspect. And don't forget about that. He called the World Series trophy, I don't know if you remember it, just a piece of metal. What commissioner would say...
And technically it's named after you. It's the commissioner's trophy.
Great point. He called the World Series just a piece of metal. Bro, people work their entire lives for that piece of metal, Rob. It's baseball. It's what you play for. What are you doing? You're the commissioner of the game. Do you know how the NFL protects the shield? You don't say, oh, it's just another piece of metal. I'm sorry. People work their whole damn life for this. Do you know how hard it is to get through the minors, then into AAA, and then from AAA up to the majors?
Just to have a cup of coffee, how hard it is.
I mean, pro baseball.
Let alone a full-on major league career.
Correct. And I don't know, man. I don't like that. And then Manfred also, if you don't remember, how many times has he taken shots at players and called them greedy? And
multiple times.
I'm talking about this dude. You are the commissioner of baseball, and you start talking. I know that the owners are your damn boss, but you're also supposed to be an open arbitrator for the game and the betterment of Major League Baseball. And you put in the rules that are supposed to be fair for all. Man, you're talking about the owners, how they lost $3 billion last year. Well, duh. But you actually didn't end up losing money, and you got through a season. That's what you lost $3 billion of revenue. That hurts. But what about the $14 billion that you were going to make this year, or the 12.5 that you did make last year? And the year before that, over 10. And the year before that, y'all hit $9 billion. I looked it all up. Baseball owners have not been going broke. Why do you think the Mets sold for a ridiculous, stupid... Did you see what the Mets sold for? $2.4 billion.
Yeah, I was about to say
dollars.
It was north of $2.
$2.4 billion in a pandemic. Steve Cohen bought that bad boy, and I ain't talking about the representative out of Memphis either. I'm talking about a rich dude goes and pays $2.4 billion for the Mets during a pandemic. And you're saying we need to put sponsors on the shirts because we got to make more money for these owners. No. You got to make the game more appealing.
And the ways that he's gone about it, trying to make it more appealing to younger people and not baseball people to bring them in, has done nothing but alienate his own fan base and make actual baseball fans angry. Because let's be honest, baseball, while I love it, you love it, a lot of people love baseball, it's not for everybody. You know, it's not basketball, it's not football where, it's just entertaining to watch. No, baseball is a game that you not only have to like, but you got to know. You have to know the ins and outs of the game. You have to know what's going on in all 9 players' minds between every pitch. And that's what makes it exciting, are the little things of the knowledge of the game that most fans have, and that's why we love baseball. And with the man on second, the pitching change rules that he's made, just every decision that Rob Manfred has made while he's a commissioner has made his actual fan base, the people that pay money, angry. And the people that these rule changes were meant for, I doubt it brought in many. I doubt somebody was like, you know what, I never gave baseball a chance, but you know what, now that extra innings, they're going to put a runner on second.
Oh, I'm in it.
I'm now a lifelong Cardinals fan or an Orioles fan or Braves fan or name your team. No, that hasn't happened, and it's not going to happen because baseball is a game of knowledge. Unless you want to have knowledge, you're not going to like the game and you're not going to want to follow it.
Another thing is, I like the universal DH they had last year, and he basically doesn't talk much about that when he could.
See, I don't mind that because I'm an American League guy anyway.
Yeah, so I want to bring up one other thing, though. Is how many people know about the Joe Kelly situation? Do you think a lot of people know about that? One more thing I'm going to say about this. Another thing just to show you how agitated a person who does care about baseball is, when Joe Kelly threw at 3 Astros players, did you know Joe Kelly was suspended for 8 games?
Yes, I did.
Did you know that the Astros who cheated to get a World Series, not a single player got
combined
suspended for
0 games.
0? So you give Joe Kelly 8 games, who literally did not. Rob Manfred, I never thought you would be more hated than Roger Goodell by me. And if more people actually watch baseball, you'd be the least liked person in sports.
And see, but the problem is, whether you're a football fan or not, people know who Roger Goodell is. If you're not a baseball guy, you don't know who Rob Manfred is. You don't know of all the crappy things that he's done to his sport. And that's the problem. He's done nothing productive and has just alienated his fans, and this is taking another step towards that of trying to make another quick, easy buck for him and all the owners, just to alienate his fans even more.
Uniforms are so important in baseball, by the way. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. I know if you're not a baseball fan, you don't understand. If you play baseball, you know what I'm talking about. You love the pinstripes with the Yankees. You like that cool look for the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? People out in Oakland, they're green. I'm colorblind, but they love that Oakland. I mean, it's just...
I like when they wear the yellow ones.
The yellow ones and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, just baseball uniforms are important. They can't sit around and turn into NASCAR. Even the NBA. It's just, I don't like it.
And it's not even like, with baseball fans and players, like, it's not even just the uniforms themselves. It's how you wear your uniform. Are you a top button undone? Are you a hat a little bit to the side or straight forward, little bend or flat? Do you pull your pants up, or do you tuck them under the cleats? It's all about style for baseball players, and everybody has their own individual. And if you start putting patches and restrictions on uniforms like he's proposing, it takes away another fun aspect from the game.
I will tell you one thing, Walker Buehler. If I worked for a prophylactic company, I would want Walker Buehler in his tight pants. I would want him to sponsor me. But anyway, next question.
All right, last question from the leadoff. Obviously, you mentioned it earlier. Michigan State and Tom Izzo got their first win in Cameron Indoor, and Izzo has stated that he will not be putting an asterisk against this win for the first time in Cameron Indoor. Do you think there should be an asterisk? Because while he did technically win in Cameron Indoor, the Cameron Crazies weren't there. It wasn't really a Duke home basketball game. So do you think there should be slightly at least an asterisk next to it?
You know,
because that's the whole deal of actually winning a game at Duke, is that you win up not only against the 5 players in front of you, but the thousands of crazy people in the stadium right on top of you.
No, that's a very good point. And I even kind of mentioned this in the open when we were talking about how, I'm still enjoying watching college basketball and college sports even without as much pageantry that I'm used to. I still love the game. The game is the most important. At least we can get away. When I leave work and go home, the fact that I can today go watch football in the afternoon is awesome. When I'm watching basketball last night, back-to-back Duke, Michigan State, Kansas, and Kentucky, I wasn't thinking about the crowd. I was thinking about the games. But I will say, the crowd probably could have helped that young team a little bit. That Duke team is a little inexperienced. They haven't been able to get a lot of practices, and they're young. They're not as experienced as Michigan State. Michigan State had that advantage, and the equalizer could have been the Cameron Crazies.
I think it could. I mean, it was only, a 6-point game at the end?
75-69.
You're telling me the Cameron Crazies don't at least equivalent to 3, 4, 5 points? A missed shot here now and then? A missed field, a free throw?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. With
that.
arenas like that, how compact Cameron Indoor is, that is an actual factor of the game.
Dude, sitting there looking at that rim with everybody in there, going bananas when you're standing at that line, it makes it a lot harder to knock those junts down.
Especially when Speedo Guy used to be a thing. Back in the 2000s.
I remember that. That was too good. By the way, we do actually have basketball on. Indiana's leading Stanford 31-26 at the half. Y'all know what's going down today at FedEx Forum, by the way. Memphis, Arkansas State, 7 o'clock tonight. Memphis, Tennessee. Tigers, by the way, are a 20.5-point favorite. Total 142, so I guess they're expecting a little up and down. Tigers to score a lot tonight. They definitely need to find their stroke.
Got to find the stroke, but right now, if you go off the 3 games that we saw them play in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, I think I'm taking the under on that.
I kind of agree with you, but I will tell you this. We're not going to be talking Tiger basketball next. We're going Tiger football, NFL, because we got NFL action at 2:40, and we're going to talk with Russell Copeland. He's next on Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? Mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Looking for some action? Sports gambling is legal in Tennessee. Action247.com. Local, legal. A sportsbook by Tennesseans, for Tennesseans. Go to Action247.com. Register and place your bets. Are you a sharp or a first-time bettor? Action 24/7 has you covered. Visit us online at Action247.com. Local, legal. Action 24/7. You got action.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-889-9789.
Try Vicks VapoCool Drops in Honey Lemon Chill for a fast-acting relief of Honey Lemon. Not to mention a soothing chill. So remember, Vicks VapoCool Drops are Honey Lemon and Honey Lemon. Honey Lemon. Yeah, Honey Lemon Chill. Get fast-acting relief with Vicks VapoCool Drops in Honey Lemon Chill. Use as directed.
Brian Smith, we love the one and only Lexus dealership in Memphis.
Thanks, Stats. The fall months are always the best time to shop for both new and pre-owned cars. We're right in the middle of model year end change. The 2020s have got to go to make room for the new 2021 models, and we continue to trade for the best pre-owned cars in the city, all makes and models.
Service is one of y'all's hallmarks.
Our award-winning service department is adhering to all socially distanced safety precautions.
You can experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Yo, 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 welcome into Little Sports 56 Happy Hour. Your good buddy Johnny Radio's in the house. Of course, Drew Barrett's with me, and we're about to be joined by Russell Copeland. That's right, we're going to talk some Tigers. But before we get into a little college news, I wanted to tell you this. Last night, everything came out, and while the Big Ten continues to sit around and ponder and just contemplate and go back and forth, constantly just a bunch of indecision from the Big Ten. They didn't want to play. Now they want to play. The whole point of playing was to get it in the college football playoff, I would think, because of all that money. You think they're going to make the decision eventually? I don't know. But guess what? The ACC has been extremely smart. They canceled Notre Dame and Clemson. They got now 2 weeks so they can play each other. They're not going to play that December 12th meaningless games. That way Clemson can handle all their business, get everybody healthy. Trevor Lawrence, Notre Dame can do the same, and then they square off, and who knows, we're going to see at least one of those teams in the college football Final Four. Hope the Big Ten can figure some stuff out. You've heard about Michigan today, but before we get into anything like that, we're going to get back on them Tigers, and I'm going to talk to my good buddy Russell Copeland. Hey, Cope, how's life treating you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Johnny. How are you?
Man, I'm doing wonderful. How was the trip? Did you like Annapolis?
Yes, it was great. A beautiful city. The Tigers were able to come back with a tough win, winning that 10-7. But it was a good trip.
Man, I bet it was. Now, I got to ask you about the game itself in all actuality because the Tigers got a tough game coming up with Tulane, I think. I'm going to ask you about that in a little bit more. But a lot of the fans were extremely worried about the running game and the offense. Is there cause for concern? Because Navy couldn't stop anybody against the run all year. The Tigers couldn't run for jack. They the most important thing is they got away with the W. Can they? Basically, what are your impressions of what happened last week, and what do you think your impressions are going into Tulane?
Well, the Tigers have to be able to have balance, and it is a concern. The way the offense overall played, they sputtered, and it was just a poor performance collectively about all of the offensive guys. The offensive linemen didn't play well. They had a lot of penalties. There were some times where the receivers and quarterbacks were not on the same page. The running attack was not there at all, and I know Clark was not there. So it is some concern coming into this game, and especially when you look at how the Tigers started, Johnny, early in the year. Clark had 100 yards pretty much the first 3 games, 98 yards in the second game against SMU, but 112 against UCF and 105 against Arkansas State. But you look at the last few games, the running game has not been the same, and it started with Cincinnati. They didn't run the football extremely well against South Florida. They came back and played a lot of guys against Stephen F. Austin, and we see what happened against Navy. So we'll have to see how that offensive line can get together and open up some holes, because that's going to be the key. Memphis has to be able to have some balance and have to be able to run the football against Tulane.
Man, that is, I think that's something that's very, very important. Now, how worried are you about this Memphis team going into Tulane, or do you expect to see a different football team when they play Tulane? There's just something about Memphis and Navy. I don't know what it is. They got the win in Annapolis, but Memphis always seems to struggle with that Navy team. Do you expect a different Memphis team when they come out and play Tulane?
I do. I think Lion Field will get this football team ready to play, ready to travel, and go to New Orleans. And as you mentioned, playing against Navy has always been tough. And unfortunately, Johnny, sometimes you have these type of games, and that was one of those offensive games that they simply could not get it going. And I broadcast the game, and I looked at what Navy was able to do defensively, and they moved a lot of people around. They gave Brady White a lot of different looks. They played physical on defense, and there were some times where Memphis could not capitalize. Put that game behind. I think you go back to the drawing board. Let's see if Drake Clark can be ready to play, and get some balance coming into this game. But what I do like overall for this football team, that was an outstanding game from the defense. The defense stepped up and played a great game and actually won the football game for the Tigers. Now, I know this is different.
It's a good point.
I know this is different. It's not the triple option, but Tulane does run the football very well. They've got two good running backs that run the football. They play some other guys that run the football well. They'll run with their quarterback. So confidence coming into this football game. Hopefully the defense has gained that because they're going to need all three phases to win this football game. Even though Tulane is 2-5, Johnny, they have been ahead in some games. They played very well. Actually, a few weeks ago, they had Tulsa beat. I think it was some bad calls down the stretch. They lost in double overtime. So
that was crazy game.
They have played good enough to win, but they haven't played a complete game, if that makes sense. They've had they've been ahead. They've given up some points. They played UCF. They played SMU. They played those teams well. So the Tigers have to be on top of their game. You can't look at the record. You have to take this game. And honestly, I want to see the Tigers step up. I know it's a 2-5 team, but I want them to step up and not have to play from behind. They've had to win from behind 5 out of the 6 football games. So getting out to a good start is going to be very important and be able to have balance, not just offensive balance, but having balance offensively and defensively. They have to be the player of the team.
Now, if that run game struggles again, is Brady White and that wide receiving core, are they going to be enough to get a W against this Tulane defense?
It's going to be tough, Johnny, and the reason why I say that, they can get after the passer, okay? Mm-hmm. The Tigers do not need to be one-dimensional. They have, I think, 33 sacks coming into this football game, so they know how to pressure. They know how to get to the quarterback. You want to have some balance. You want to be able to run the football. You want to run some screens. You want to have some play-action passes. Therefore, you can open up your playbook and you can hit the big play wide receiver in Calvin Austin. You can hit Sean Dykes in the seams. You can be able to get the running backs out in the flat. But being able to have some balance and run the football is going to be the key. If the Tigers get into a one-dimensional game, it's going to be tough.
Man, make sure you're listening to Dave and my man Russell Copeland live from New Orleans, Louisiana. Tigers, Tulane, 11 o'clock kick this Saturday, December 5th. I can't wait for it. Now I got to ask you, because this is weird. It's a hump day. It doesn't really make any sense, but this is 2020. It's a crazy year. Are you excited for some Wednesday afternoon football?
I am excited that football is on, but at the same time, I really wanted to see this matchup when it was first scheduled between Pittsburgh and Baltimore on Thanksgiving night. I wanted to see everyone healthy. I wanted to see could Lamar Jackson make amends for his interception and his poor play in the third and fourth quarter, which ultimately cost his football team. I wanted to see how the Pittsburgh Steelers would be able to hold on to a very solid team, which they have, and go against Baltimore, which is, a division football game. But we didn't have that. So now you've had 3 cancellations, and now I'm looking at Baltimore. And when you look at Baltimore, they have a lot of players. They're hurt. They're not going to play Lamar Jackson. He has COVID-19. Some other players, I think the running backs will be back. It's not the same as it was as far as everyone being healthy, but I still know that it's a division game. And who has to win this football game? Baltimore Ravens has to win this football game as well as they have played earlier. They're on the outside looking in. When you're talking about the playoffs, when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, this is not a must game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're undefeated. Do they want to win this game? Absolutely. But if they lose this game, is it the end of the world? No, it is not. And they probably will drop a game or two, going into the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm excited to see, but I really want to see what RG3 can do, Johnny.
That's what I want to see. And did you know the crazy little roll about this? Do you want to hear something weird, Cope? Do you know the last team to beat the Steelers was an RG3-led Baltimore Ravens last year?
Wow.
Yeah, and he rushed for 55 yards. He only threw for $150, but he was very effective. And yes, that Baltimore Ravens team beat the Steelers last year. Of course, Big Ben wasn't around, but RG3, the last time he got a start, it was against the Steelers. Do you think RG3 has an opportunity to maybe resurrect his career a little bit? I mean, everybody and their grandmother's going to see there's some teams that really need some quarterbacks. He's only 30 years old. And, I mean, everybody knows he won Rookie of the Year. He's been back there in Baltimore backing up Lamar for a couple years now. Could he maybe make a little bit of shine today?
I'm not going to really say resurrect his career because it may only be one game. But if he can come out here and play well, he will have an opportunity perhaps maybe to go to another team in the offseason and perhaps compete for a starting job. I will say that. But when I look at this offense, RG3 is the perfect backup quarterback when you're losing such a player that is as dynamic as Lamar Jackson, because he can do some of the similar things. He can run with the football, but I think overall he is a better passer. So let's see if he can spread the football out a little bit, throw the football outside of the hashes, not just to the tight ends, and then hit your backs and hit your tight ends, because RG3 still has a live arm. He's not as dynamic as Lamar Jackson, but what I'm saying is he can still run with the football, and the offense does not have to take a major step backwards by putting him in the football game. But they're still going to have the defense. Their defense is going to have to show up, and I've been very disappointed overall by this defense. I thought this defense was going to be strong. They've been giving up a lot of big yards, a lot of big passes, so it's going to be interesting to see. But at the end of the day, it's going to start with RG3. How RG3 plays is going to see and determine how this football team stays in the game with the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers.
Man, I cannot wait. I'm so fired up. Wednesday football. It starts at 2:40 today. I cannot wait. Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens. Yes, there's a lot of people missing COVID-19. Of course, you have Pouncey with the Steelers. He won't be starting. Big Ben's going to have another center. There's so many people for the Ravens that are out, including Lamar Jackson. It'll take me a long time. I mean, Mark Ingram's not going to play. But they got Gus Edwards, RG3. The game is going down, and Baltimore, you're right, is absolutely desperate. You look at the National Football League, and if you look at the standings, again, like you said, they're on the outside looking in, and that division is a killer one. One more weird question for you. Nobody's talking about it. I totally get it. Don't get me wrong. I totally get that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest thing ever. It was kind of interesting. Did you see Tyreek Hill say that when the first year that he saw Patrick Mahomes at Kansas City, he was like, man, I don't think he's going to be sorry. I don't think this guy's good at all.
Right.
I was laughing so hard at that interview, and now he's like the best player ever. But one person who's getting no shine, and I mentioned this yesterday, and he's playing today. Last year's Steelers team missed the playoffs. This year's Steelers team is 10-0. If they win today and go to 11-0, will Big Ben Roethlisberger at least get some kind of MVP consideration, or is everybody just look at that Steelers defense?
Well, I think he can drop his name in the pot, but when you look at the MVP, I mean, you look at Patrick Mahomes, you look at Aaron Rodgers, and you also look at that bad man that's in Nashville, and his name is Derrick Henry. I think those three players right there is locked. But when you look at Big Ben, I think Big Ben has been consistent, and I tip my hat off to him, because it seems as if his career was not the same after losing Antonio Brown and losing Le'Veon Bell and then having the injury. And you say, well, is Big Ben too old? What he has done, he has rehabbed, he has stayed healthy this year, and he has been the focal point. He has been the main ingredient on offense to be able to spread that football around, and Pittman can now open up the offense. But it is their defense. Their division is defense. That's what it is. It's hard-nosed football, and their defense has kept them in football games. And I said it before the season started, Johnny. I said the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, overall, with the talent top to bottom, is the best defense in football. And we see that. We see what they're able to do. We see how they can rush the passer. We see how they can get some turnovers. Fitzpatrick, their safety, man, he's all over the place. He's all over the place. He's their leader. He gets a lot of turnovers. But Big Ben, I have to give him some love because he is the reason why the offense is playing as well as they are. But I tell you what, this team will go and they will come with their defense. Their defense is the reason why they're undefeated. If their defense does not play well, they will not go far in the playoffs.
I always think of the Steelers, and I always think of defense. And you know what? Also, the second thing I always think of is a lot of people think running backs. You go with the Bus and Le'Veon Bell, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
You go all the way back and but Franco Harris, et cetera. I mean, there's great running backs, but think about the wide receivers. Every year, you won't even know them. Next thing you know, you're like, Juju Smith-Schuster's a baller. Then next thing you know, you're looking at another guy, and you're like, oh my God, this Chase Claypool, he's unbelievable. Every year, they get somebody awesome. When you had Antonio Brown, Lynn Swann back in the day, it's like great defense and a bunch of great wide receivers. And heck, they always got a pretty good running back too, though.
That's right, and then that still goes back to Big Ben. They've had a great quarterback for a lot of years, but you're absolutely right. And let's take our hat off and tip our cap off to Randy Fichtner, man. His offense is dynamic. He's able to do what he wants to do with those wide receivers. You talk about Claypool. Now you have a big wide receiver outside. You talk about Smith. They've got a wide receiver that can come out of the backfield and do a whole lot of things. They play a lot of running backs in their defense. So the Pittsburgh Steelers have the type of football team that can win a championship offensively and defensively. It will be very interesting to see how the season plays out, but I would love to see that matchup, if it can occur, between Kansas City and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Man, enjoy your trip down to Tulane and New Orleans. It's a wonderful city. Just be careful down there. Take care of Wolo. We'll be listening to you this Saturday, and everybody knows one of the greatest wide receivers at the University of Memphis, now calling for his alma mater, and also played a lot of times in the NFL for a long time with them Buffalo Bills. You liking watching this Buffalo team, and are they for real?
Love it, man. Love it, man. Hey, go Bills. I know what upstate New York, man, they're excited. So the Bills are doing very well. I'm excited to see them in the playoffs and see how far they can go.
Copeland, enjoy your week. I'll talk to you next week, and have a great broadcast, my friend.
Thanks, Johnny.
That's my man, Russell Copeland. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Never forget, though, Chad Gatlin and MemphisFarmers.com. Why? In your time of need, he has your back. And I mean, he has your back. When you call 901-235-1176, you can get a free consultation. Or when you need him, you will get him. And guess what? It doesn't matter day, what time, like it's night, whenever you need it. When life happens, Chad Gatlin is there for you. Go to MemphisFarmers.com, get that fast quote. And again, everything you need to make sure you have insured. From your life, because you want to make sure you can take care of your loved ones. If you have children and they're living with their friends and they're renting a house, make sure they have renter's insurance. Car, automobile, everything. Go to MemphisFarmers.com, check it out, or call Chad to get that free consultation at 901-235-1176, MemphisFarmers.com. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 Middays.
Lunchy munchy.
Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
I'm a big fan of Town Village, and there is always something to do year-round. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, theme dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Fiveash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you. Napa know-how.
Right now, get a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil and a platinum filter for just $22.98. They're an iconic duo like Salt and Pepper, a hammer and a nail, or the holidays and awkward hugs. You can't get one without the other. That's Napa full synthetic and a platinum filter for just $22.98. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
General States pricing. Sales price does not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 12/31/20.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
So you're watching the game and you see another ad for FanDuel Sportsbook, and you think to yourself, is that legal here in Tennessee? You bet it is. FanDuel Sportsbook is now legal in Tennessee. You can place your first bet on FanDuel Sportsbook risk-free and get up to $1,000 back if you don't win. Seriously, there's no strings attached. Just place any bet you want. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, you'll get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in site credit. So you can take another shot at the end zone on the house. Go crazy. Take a big long shot swing because it's absolutely risk-free. And with FanDuel Sportsbook, generous risk-free bets are just the beginning. They've got a simple app, live betting on every game, and exhilarating bet types like same-game parlays where you combine multiple bets from one game into a single parlay. I won one of those last week, and once you win on FanDuel Sportsbook, they get you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. It's so easy to use. You're going to love it. To claim your risk-free bet, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and be sure to sign up with promo code BIGHEAD so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code BIGHEAD. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
What is up? Welcome back into Little Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio. Y'all know Drew Barrett as well, and we're chilling out in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. You know the holidays are here. They got their home sale going down, so make sure you check it out. Now, this is very, very important as well. We've had an absolutely crazy year. Tennessee fans, though, how bad does it feel? And I'm not meaning this because I am trying to rub any salt in any wounds. I mean, please don't play no games. I'm not doing that. I want Tennessee to be successful because I am a Memphis fan, but also have family who went to Tennessee. I like Tennessee. I want them to get back. I love those, 99, T. Martin, Peerless Price. All those memories are big time. I want the Vols to be back, but this is the problem we have. All that momentum that like Jeremy Pruitt had, can you pinpoint where it went wrong? Because I feel like I almost can. And I'll tell you exactly where it went wrong. Second half of the Georgia. Y'all go into Georgia. Y'all look good in the first half. Do you know what has happened to UT in the last 18 quarters since they got punched in the face by Georgia? Do you know what happened? They've been outscored 163 to 54. 163 to 54. That is embarrassing. You know what else is embarrassing, though? Did you see where the Florida beat writer Thomas Goldcamp came out and said, he was quoting, by the way, a player named James Houston, and he says, On the Florida UT rivalry, where does it rank? I personally never played a good Tennessee team, or at least one that wasn't even competitive against us. But I guess it's Tennessee, Florida. Yeah, dude, that is a slap down from somebody that was supposed to be a rivalry. Florida, Tennessee used to be awesome. It's not. And then do you remember this year how Jeremy Pruitt had a lot of momentum? And do you all remember the talk about this top 10 Tennessee class, including 5-star linebacker Terrence Lewis? Well, guess what he's done? By the way, he was the number 1 linebacker in the entire country. Number 1. He's decided to decommit. That makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. They also had the outside linebacker get booted from their program. By the way, he was charged with multiple felonies. They found a handgun and a whole lot of pot and paraphernalia in his car. And I'm going to explain something to you that does not mix. Kevon Bennett, listen to me, and anybody out there that likes to get high or likes to stay out of jail. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink, drive, and have a handgun. Don't smoke weed, have papers, get in a car with a loaded pistol. These are felonies. And by the way, why do you have to have a whole bunch of pot in your car and a bunch of papers? You don't need that many joints, do you? Roll them up, put them in something. Dadgummit. Simple possession is not intent to distribute. And when you have also a loaded handgun in your car, most people think, well, you're probably going to do something. If you have marijuana and a gun, it just doesn't look good. Now, if you have a little marijuana, it really doesn't look that bad, at least in my opinion. But boy, once you get when you add a gun to that equation, like I'm a gun owner.
Adding a gun to anything really does murk the waters.
It doesn't come out of my home. Like I don't take the gun out of my house. No, years ago, when I used to work at a different job, I'd have to put it in the car, but I had a carry permit. I don't get it. Do me a favor. If you're smoking some weed, leave it at your house. You don't need to take a whole big old bag in your car, and don't take a loaded pistol. Please. Tennessee, things are going bad. You've lost your outside linebacker. You lost the number 1 linebacker in the class, Terrence Lewis. And the UT rivalry, they're making fun of you at Florida saying, I've never even played a competitive Tennessee. Poor Jeremy Pruitt. Oh, Memphis. They play tonight. Arkansas State Tigers. It's going down. FedEx Forum, 7 o'clock. I cannot wait. Your Tigers are a 20.5-point favorite. We'll talk a little Tiger hoops. We'll talk hoops in general. The NBA is starting back up as well. Oh, my goodness. We got all kinds of stuff to get into, plus a lot of football because we get kickoff T-minus 43 minutes. Don't you dare touch that dial. This is Johnny Radio's Happy Hour on Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
When you are in need of quality jeans, shirts, and boots, think Frontier Western Store in Olive Branch. Frontier has thousands of square feet of merchandise at everyday low prices. Tons of jeans by Carhartt, Wrangler, and Ariat. Whether you're after classic denim jeans, dungarees, or work pants, you'll find it among Frontier's amazing selection of stylish modern fits. Flame-retardant jeans and shirts now available as well. Colder weather is on the way and Frontier is prepared with overalls, coats, and fleece jackets. Hundreds of jackets and coats in stock by Ariat. Inventory may be scarce this year, so come in today to grab yours while it's in stock. Don't forget the boots. Frontier boasts dozens and dozens of styles of boots. Work, dress, or play, come try on all the latest boot trends, as well as proven classics, Ariat, Durango, Dan Post, and many, many more. You are guaranteed to find your next favorite pair at Frontier. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Don't miss Lowe's Provember Season of Savings event, November 25th through December 2nd. We'll have some of the year's best deals on brands you trust every day. During this 1-week only event, get up to 40% off select tools, up to 25% off select lighting and ceiling fans, up to 50% off select ladders, and more. These pro deals are available in-store and online at lowesforpros.com. Lowe's, the new home for pros. Offer valid 11/25 through 12/2. While supplies last, U.S. only.
When you visit Navy Liquor at 7866 Highway 51 in Millington, you'll be treated like family by friendly, knowledgeable staff. Select are your favorite bourbon, vodka, scotch, beer, tequila, gin, and rum, as well as wines from all over the world. An amazing selection of sakis, too. Coldest beer in town. Beer kegs are available. Any beer, any wine, any liquor. You got the Navy Liquor hookup. Come see us, holiday or any other occasion. Navy Liquor, corner of Highway 51 and Navy Road in Millington.
Water damage to your home or business can be an absolute nightmare. And the faster you remove the standing water, the faster you can prevent secondary damage. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services specializes in water extraction. They have been a trusted name in the Mid-South for over 20 years. They are a Memphis-based company ready to serve your needs with their 24-hour emergency response. They are always on call and will respond within an hour. They work with most insurance companies and are the official restoration contractor of the Memphis Tigers home team. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services can't prevent disasters in your home and at your business, but their water damage team will certainly respond quickly to minimize and restore the damage. Call 901-452-0390. That's 901-452-0390 or online at landmarkco.org.
Santa needs a new set of wheels, and he's going to Sunrise Chevy Buick GMC. Sunrise has hundreds of new and used cars and trucks. This time of the year, Santa's a little strapped for cash, but Sunrise has financing with no money down on approved credit. Sunrise has financing for everyone and specializes in secondary credit. That's good, because feeding all these elves, Santa's credit's not so hot. A $4 million used car inventory. Find new roads. SunriseMemphis.com. 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to Little Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio. Drew Brerett's in the house. You can follow the whole show, Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Instagram. We're going to have a whole lot of fun here. We got to talk about the Tigers basketball game tonight. We got to talk about what's going on in the NBA, college football, all kinds of wonderful stuff. And yes, we have 240 football, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. It's going down for real. It's going down today. Now, one other thing I want to mention, something that's very, very important, and it has to do with my good friend Chad Gatlin, and it has to do with your life insurance. Everybody knows that you do everything you can to take care of your loved ones, so the most important thing you can probably do right now is go to life.memphisfarmers.com. Why? Set up a no-obligation free consultation to answer questions like, how much life insurance do I really need? And is what I have at work enough? Find out these answers. Life.memphisfarmers.com. Get your appointment today. Again, life.memphisfarmers.com or just call Chad Gatlin, 901-235-1176 at memphisfarmers.com. Now, this is very, very crucial, baby. The Tigers, they have started off to a very bad 1-2. It's not been looking very good. They're averaging 67 points on 40% shooting and allowing 67 points a game on 40.4% shooting. That's not good. But Boogie Ellis, he is averaging 16 points a game. Landers Nolly's averaging 13.7. DJ Jeffries, though, only dishing out 1.3 assists a game. That's got to get better. Moose is grabbing 5 boards, which is leading the board grabber. That's not very good. The Tigers are shooting, though, which is crazy to me, 37.3% from beyond the arc and 64.3% from the free throw line. Now, the best thing about Memphis is they're grabbing 31 boards a game, and they're only allowing the opponents to shoot 25% from deep. Those things are good. The other thing that's good, this Memphis Tiger team is playing tonight the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Why is that good? They are quickly 0-2. They will probably be quickly 0-3 after tonight's game. I will say one thing. If the Tigers don't look good on defense against this Red Wolves team, I am going to be concerned. They're only averaging 58 points a game. They're shooting 39.6% for the field. They're giving up 70 points a game. And they're giving up 44% shooting. So, I don't know, man. I just feel like Memphis should roll Arkansas State. But Memphis has not done anything that we've expected from it. This is a team that doesn't shoot good from the three-point line. They're shooting 29% from the arc. They don't get to the free throw line a lot. When they do, they're only shooting 62%. And again, they are only thing you can say good about them is that they are playing pretty decent defense. Defensively, they're only giving up 24.4% from deep. But Memphis, they're shooting pretty good from deep, 37%. They're so much more athletic. They got so much size down there. And there's basically only one dude, and that's Caleb Fields for Arkansas State, that I feel like can even go in there and play against these type of athletes. Everybody else is going to be so overmatched tonight in the FedEx Forum. Memphis should roll. That's why the line is 20.5. But do you believe that Memphis is going to come out there and lay that knockout blow that a lot of people are expecting? They have the coaching staff. They have the players. A lot of people in the city are down on them. I know they look great on paper, but what we've seen through the first 3 games on the court has been very, let's just say, damn.
Yeah, it hasn't translated from paper and just the amount of talent that you see on the team thus far onto the court. And I am a little cautious to say that, yeah, this is going to be a blowout type of game. Tigers are going to start the season off at FedEx Forum. It's handling business, going to win by 21 plus. It's going to be easy. They're going to roll because while you are 1-2, other than really, I guess, Charles Bassey and that Western Kentucky team, now they did outplay you, but you still had a chance to win. It's mostly the Tigers beating themselves. It's not making shots. It's not having good ball movement on the offensive side of the ball. Yes, they were playing great defense, but honestly, in that Western Kentucky, besides Charles Bassey and the VCU game, I didn't really see a matchup or a team that was more talented and just flat out beat you. Saying that you played your best game, they just played a little bit better today, you can accept that. No, it's been a lot of mistakes on the Tigers front. So unless they can have been able to correct everything since last Friday, I just don't have that much confidence that they're going to get it done. I hope that's how it happens. I hope they're able to make shots in the friendly confines of FedEx Forum, but I have to see it to believe it.
I was talking with Terry Davis the other day when they did that little Penny and Boogie came out there for that presser, and they said he's going to shake. They're going to shake something up. I'm not sure. I still think they're going to leave Boogie on the bench to come off for instant offense. It kind of feels like he likes that role and he's ready for that role. It doesn't matter who starts the game. It's about how many minutes you play and who finishes it. I think he likes that role. I don't know.
I mean, he still played, I think, in all 3 games, 28 to 35 minutes a game in all 3 of them.
And I'm wondering if they're going to keep him in that role, or do you think that he might actually start at point guard? I don't think so. Do you think, though, that tonight Alo starts on the bench?
I think if there is a mix-up, that's probably what it's going to be. Now, we've talked about it already this week of what I think should happen. I think you should probably move Lester to the bench just because the productivity on the offensive side of the ball just has not been there for Mr. Quinones thus far. But I think if there is going to be that lineup shakeup that Penny was alluding to on Monday, that is probably going to be Damian Ball starting at the point, because we did see him start 25 games last year. He has done it before, so that just seems like the natural choice by Penny and the Tigers coaching staff. If you're going to make a easy decision on switching up the lineup, it'd be Damian Ball taking over the point for Alo. But I don't think that that's an automatic fix. I mean, you just plugging in Damian Ball for Alo, or even say you bring Boogie off the bench and you have him starting instead of coming off the bench instead. I don't think that really fixes the problem because, like you said, it really doesn't matter who's your starting five. It's who plays the most minutes.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready
and starting
to see,
doesn't guarantee that you play the most minutes. That's not how that works.
I want to see last year that stretch of Alo when he had those 10 games where he was basically that alpha dog. But I want Landers Nolley to take on that role. I also need to see a lot more from Moussa Cisse and DJ Jeffries. I mean, a lot more. And then also, come on now, Lester Quinones, I don't know what it is. It's not the shorts, people. I just want to see. He hustles on defense. He runs all around. But it's just like I don't ever see the ball go in the basket or him make that play that just makes me say, yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're going to do with him. We just need to see a lot from a lot of people. This team's got a lot of growing. The season, this is game number 4, yo. You better come out and smack Arkansas dead in the face. I will say, though, I wouldn't lay the 20.5.
I don't think I would either. At this point, I wouldn't take the over-under because I think you said it was at, 149?
It was at 140. Yeah, it was something like that. I don't even have it in front of me anymore. I closed out my gambling site. I already put my games in.
Yeah, I probably would take the under at this point. But then again, I don't have the best record with gaming, so if I say that take the under, go ahead and double the money on the over because that's what's going to happen. Every time I think it's going one way, it always goes the other.
Now, before I get on to the next subject, because I'm about to switch over here and ask a little bit of college football news, plus we got some NBA stuff we want to touch on, and I got a great Hardwood today. We got Lou Holtz information, and I'll tell you why it's a good thing everybody's not walking around smoking heaters anymore. Very interesting thing. But first, I got to tell you, this hour is brought to you by one of my favorite things in the entire world. Isn't it weird how the universe works? Like, I have a love for something, and then next thing you know, it comes to me, and I am talking about it. And also, like, I mean, to be honest, I'm getting paid to talk about something I love. Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's in my house. I go to the bar. They know what they know what I'm drinking. When I go to the liquor store, I'm always grabbing me a bottle. It's amazing. This is one of the best vodkas in the world. Just go right now and Google top 10 vodkas in the world. You're going to see the ones from France. You're going to see the ones from Russia. And you're also going to want to see like what's right here, crafted in the United States down in Austin, Texas, and that will be Tito's Handmade Vodka. I don't know if it's because it's from here. When you go to the liquor store, you know you ain't paying that same price. It is it's a lot more reasonable. I mean, it's very, very, very reasonably priced. Tito's Handmade Vodka is the best vodka. I think it's the only one. I mean, it's not the only one, but it's the only one I know of because vodka, they don't, do the classic still pot method. Tito's does. It's a rarity on the vodka scene. That's where you get the flavor, which is slightly sweet with a black pepper note. Balances everything out. I don't care if you're making a martini, making a Cosmo, making, maybe just drinking it neat. I drink it neat sometimes. Sometimes you just got to get to it. Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's simply the best. Pick it up at the liquor store or go to your bar. Make sure you order a Tito's today. Now, Mr. Drew Barrett, got to talk to you about the rankings. Wanted to bring this up and ask you a question. Talk to you a little bit about how the ACC is smart. I got to say I appreciate what they've done. Canceled the remaining game December 12th. You got Clemson and Ohio State. Clemson's going to get by this game. Once they do, all they have to worry about 2 weeks. Nobody's going to have to worry about COVID. You take care of your business. You're going to need to play in a championship game. Winner 100% is going to go into the college football Final Four. It is going to be crucial. Now, I bring this up because I'm very confused about a lot of things. One, did a lot of people who are doing the rankings or like looked at the rankings, I want to say that I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm kind of going to be a jerk. Cincinnati, they are at 7 and should be there. And a lot of people are saying how unfair it is. Florida has a loss. Texas A&M lost. Clemson, by the way, nobody's complaining. They have a loss too. Oh, but they didn't have Trevor Lawrence. And they lost to Notre Dame, who's number 2. Look, I know Cincinnati's undefeated. Cincinnati and BYU are both off. They should have had their own little, let's get together, let's play, and let's call this the undefeated playoff bowl, and maybe try to draw a little attention to you, and maybe the winner of that one would have gotten a little boost. But for all the people complaining about Georgia, saying there's no way Georgia should be ranked 8th. If Georgia played Cincinnati, I guarantee you this, Georgia would be favored. Do you agree or disagree, Mr. Drew Barrett?
I think they'd be favored, but I don't think by a lot. And honestly,
at least a touchdown. I'm guaranteed.
I don't even know if that.
Well,
I mean, Cincinnati's defense has been phenomenal. Offense has been great, and there's still questions with Georgia. Yeah, JT Daniels looks a lot better than Stenton Benton the fourth in the last 2 games that he's played for the Georgia Bulldogs. But I think it's a very close game. I think it's almost a coin flip.
Well, this is what I want to ask you. Why are people complaining about Georgia and not Iowa State? Iowa State's ranked right behind Georgia at number 9. Georgia, I think, would beat the brakes off Iowa State. If you don't remember, Iowa State lost to Louisiana. Louisiana. Come on, man. Don't even give me that. A team that's ranked 9th in the country can't lose to Louisiana. Not LSU, not even Tulane, to the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana.
I mean, Ooh La La is pretty good this year. They are 25th in the rankings, 8-1, but I do agree. But at this point, you know, honestly, once you get out of the top 8, I think the rest of it's just we've got to find somebody to be there, right? You could really make an argument that 8 or 9 all the way through what? 23 are probably ranked higher than they should be.
I kind of agree. And now I will also say that the reason I bring all this stuff up is because we are having issues. I started off with the ACC, talking about how genius Mr. Swafford is. Good job, John. You know what I mean? Going in there and say, hey, Clemson, Notre Dame, cancel these meaningless games, take 2 weeks off, get your team healthy, bing, bang, boom, let's play. It's about getting your money in the college football playoff this year. It's Corona year, yo. There's so many unknowns. The one thing you know is you've got to have a little bit of clarity. You've got to have a little bit of time to prep, and they're going to give Clemson, they're going to give Notre Dame that time. They're going to play each other. The Big Ten is the one that I have an issue with. How many people are even even understand that last night they were talking about moving Texas A&M ahead of Ohio State, and they're going to play this weekend. But the bad news, well, at least we think they are. You know the other bad news, though? And Kirby, for some reason, Kirk Herbstreit had an issue apology last night for saying it. I understand why he had an issue apology because he said basically Michigan's going to use COVID-19 as an excuse not to play Ohio State. Maybe that was a little wrong. But it isn't like Michigan hasn't canceled football activities. They are on a pause right now. They're not going to play the game against Maryland. And does Jim Harbaugh and you think that Michigan team going to be just jumping for excitement and trying to get everything under the threshold? Yes, they're going to try to get everything under the threshold for the student athletes and for the health of their community. But I'm not sure that they're going to be jumping for joy to go play this Ohio State team. And that's going to hurt the conference if Ohio State doesn't get to play that 6th game and get in the Big Ten championship. Why hasn't the commissioner come out and said, if they don't play in the Big Ten championship, let's put Ohio State against Wisconsin? Remember, they didn't get to play. Put that one the last week during even the championship game. Ohio State needs more games, yo.
That's the problem. That's why there is that actual talk out there of having a 1-loss A&M or 1-loss Florida team ranked ahead of Ohio State because you just haven't seen it. And you haven't seen them against really good competition. The best game they played this year is against Indiana.
And let me tell you something. This is going to make me mad because I don't want to see Alabama and A&M play again. I don't want that 1-4 matchup. I also don't want to see Notre Dame play Clemson twice. There's a lot. I want to see a good college football playoff. I still think Ohio State's one of the top 4 teams in the country. And if the Big Ten does not act and does not come out and say something and figure out a way for Ohio State to not only play Michigan State this week, but to get another deadgum game in, and they get moved by either Texas A&M or even Florida, I will be losing my mind. It won't be Florida because Florida's going to get waylaid by Alabama, so it has to be Texas A&M. I don't know. I'm going to be very upset. And again, from just simple looking at the world, right now, Cincinnati, you should be doing anything to play another game to try to boost your resume because there is chaos and Ohio State might not be in the top 4. You might get it to backdoor your way. Maybe they don't want to see the Alabama, Texas A&M. Maybe Alabama beats the brakes off of Florida, and who knows, Cincinnati somehow, if you played this weekend, you got another game and you beat an undefeated BYU because BYU's off too. That might look pretty good. I'm just saying, nothing is set in stone. 2020 is crazy. So just somebody go out there and set something up. Act like you are in the ACC. John Swofford has done a great job. He just flat out says, I'm not stupid. I know what matters here, and it's about playing in the college football playoff. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of business today. What is the smart move? John says, hey, guess what? We're not going to make Notre Dame and Clemson play on December 12th. It's a meaningless game. That's the weekend before the ACC title game. So Clemson, all they have to do is handle its business against Virginia Tech on Saturday, and the last little hurdle for them, Notre Dame. Boom. Genius. Don't have to worry about anybody else. ACC, John Swofford, proactive. Big Ten, still twiddling their thumbs. Don't get it, never will. And I want to see a good college football playoff. And I do want Ohio State, if they play at least 2 more games and they're undefeated, I'd like them to be in there. I want to see Justin Fields. I mean, did you know that the boys in Vegas right now have Ohio State favored over everybody in the country, including Clemson, Notre Dame, except for Alabama?
I mean, it makes sense. It's a great team. We know that it's a good team. It's just the sample size isn't there yet.
No, it's
and
not.
We haven't seen them really hit their peak. Regardless of how good of a team you are, it still does take, a few weeks to get everything rolling. And when you've had as many stop and starts as Ohio State has had since the summer, you weren't going to play. Now you're going to play. Now you're playing, and now there's a cancellation, and now you're going to play this week. Oh, there's another cancellation here. Like, it gets frustrating, and it's hard for those college athletes to restart that motor like that. So while I think they are still a top 4 program in the country in the 2020, it's just we haven't been able to see it because there hasn't been enough sample size for it.
I don't know why they just can't come out if you're the Big Ten right now and just say, hey, look, Michigan right now is not looking good. Ohio State, get ready to play that 6th game. Call up somebody else that's important. Change it today. Make the plan. Be proactive, because if you aren't, y'all are going to miss out the Big Ten, who was not going to play football, but you came back basically because you got a great team in Ohio State to get to the college football playoff Final Four. And guess what? Because you won't make any you won't do any action right now. You're just sitting around, looking around, going, you're going to screw everybody who loves college football. Let's just be real. Now,
and the Big Ten throughout all of this year, regardless of what decision they've made, I feel like they've had egg on their face every step of the process through how we got here today. They canceled the season, I think, way too prematurely. Then, so that made them look bad. Then they went back on what they said. It was all about player safety. Well, if it's all about player safety and you had all these statistics, I mean, really what changed in 3 weeks when you decided to play? All right, you decided to play. That puts egg on your face right there. You decide to play, but we're only going to play a 8-game schedule, and we're going to do it in 8 weeks because we can figure this out better than anybody else can with protocols, testing, social distancing. We're going to be the one conference that figures it out. Well, obviously you didn't. You couldn't get 8 games in 8 weeks. Egg on your face. Now Ohio State sitting here, top 4 team in the country, on the edge of missing out of the playoffs because you're not helping. They're going to
get 5 games in,
and you've already made the rule that if you miss 3 games, then you can't play in your conference championship. And ultimately, if you don't play in your championship, you're probably not making the CFP. Egg on your face.
I agree with you 100%. By the way, you know what's so crazy? The NBA is starting training camp, That's kind of messed up my head. Christmas Day is going to be here before you know it. We're going to have basketball. Do you believe the bubble worked out so well last year? I mean, it was awesome. They got this stuff in. They were the first to really go at it. Hallelujah. Love it. Do you believe that this year, there's already been a few, COVID bumps in the NBA. Do you think that this year is going to be a little bit bumpier, even with the, how we see the end of the light of the tunnel? I mean, we see the light at the end of the tunnel with this coronavirus. They're talking about the vaccines. I think they gave it to, they're starting to give it to people next week in UK and all this stuff. So we're, at least I'm believing. I mean, heck, if Dr. Fauci comes out and says, hey, by next September, NFL football stadiums will be full, I'm feeling positive. But Christmas Day is going to be here in 2 shakes. This is in the middle of the little uptick. Are you worried about the start of the NBA season?
I'm not really worried about it getting started. Now, obviously, there's going to be bumps in the road. I mean, we've seen it with any sports league that hasn't bubbled itself, that there have been bumps in the road. I mean, college football, college basketball, Major League Baseball, the NFL, there's been bumps in the road. It's how well can you reschedule on the fly, because with an NBA team, I mean, you're talking about 15 guys. You have 3 guys have to contract the virus, as close as they are with traveling and everything. That doesn't just knock out another 2 or 3 with contact tracing. That knocks out your whole program.
Yeah, it does.
So it's going to be real interesting to see how well the NBA can adjust on the fly with scheduling.
And it's also going to be interesting. You got teams like the Raptors aren't allowed to play in Canada. The Lakers aren't going to start the season with fans. A lot of teams aren't going to start with fans. Some are. It's going to be weird. And then plus, I haven't even mentioned this. Ja Morant, there was a little bit, what was it, Saturday? There was started.
You went to a party? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw Peter Fleischer and Grizzly Bear Blues and the Twitter. It starts, Ja Morant seen partying with no mask. 72 hours before the start of training camp. So far, I haven't heard any word about COVID and Ja, but this is what I'm talking about. What realistically do people out there think a young, good-looking, rich kid is going to be doing right before he goes to training camp?
Living it up. Why he can. Why he's got another day or 2.
Living the vida loca. What does that mean, by the way? Do you even know what that song is, or was that from the 90s before?
I've heard the song. I can look up what it means in the Espanol.
Well, I'll end up finding that out, and I'll tell you on the other side. I got some of the best stories from Hardenwood. We've got Lou Holtz. I got a smoking story. Everything is crazy. I also got, yesterday I told you about a bad bet, a dude who lost $500,000.
Yeah, real quick. It means living the crazy life.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're living the vida loca. By the way, I also found out what Playa, and have you ever seen that commercial with the Corona with Snoop Dogg and the other guy, Bad Bunny?
Yeah, I don't know who Bad Bunny is, though. Does that make me old?
No, I don't know who Bad Bunny is either, but I'm figuring he's like the Snoop Dogg for the South, south of the border. What do you think?
I don't know. I've never heard of the guy or seen him before the Corona beer commercial.
But by the way, do you know this? Do you know when he goes, what's up, playa? And he's like, no, it's playa. And I'm like, dude, that sounds so dumb. Do you know why they say that?
Why?
Playa is beach in Spanish. So, yeah.
I should know this. This is how embarrassing this is,
John.
I took 2 years of it in high school, 4 semesters of it in college. Honestly, needed only 2 more classes, and I could have minored in the darn thing, but I can't speak it or hear the language whatsoever. I can read and write it decently. But if you try to speak to me in Spanish, you're wasting your time, because I just don't have the ear for it.
I feel
But I spent too much time in school, in high school and college, for me not to even at least know some things.
I know one thing. Buenos noches. We'll be back with Hardenwood on Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Sports Time with Wallow and Stats. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Before you drive the all-new Nissan Rogue, you gotta ask yourself, how rogue are you gonna go? We talking be one with nature in the desert rogue? Go snowshoeing in Alaska rogue? Or take the long way home just because kind of rogue? Just a question, but with 5 available drive modes, you're sure to find the answer.
Go rogue in the all-new, fiercely reimagined 2021 Nissan Rogue, now with the most standard safety features in its class. See Owner's Manual for important safety information. Auto Pacific segmentation. 2021 Nissan Rogue versus latest in market competitors. Base models compared.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together. So the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
Hey, Tiger fans, this is John Stacy of the Wolf Chase Honda Blue and Gray Show. You can hear Drew Barrett and I talk Tigers with Tigers every Sunday at 5 right here on Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1. You never know which Tigers great we'll have in the studio with us either. We'll get them to call in, too. We are your go-to show for Memphis Tigers football. We are the show to talk Tigers with Tigers. That's the Wolf Chase Honda Blue and Gray Show right here on Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar, your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
What is up? What is up? Welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your good buddy, Johnny Radio. I'm hanging out with Drew Barrett. We're about to go to my favorite place in the world, and that's Hardwood. I do have some sad news, though. Rayford Johnson passed. I'm going to tell you about his storied career. Basically, decorated Olympian, actor, philanthropist, American hero. The whole Sirhan situation, I'm sure Drew does not know about that one. But I will be telling y'all that during Hardwood, and also why it's good that we don't smoke. But I got to remind you, important thing. What do we love? We love Tito's handmade vodka. Why do we love it? Because it's crafted right here in the United States, down in Austin, Texas. And it's also because maybe it's crafted right here in this country, it's a lot more reasonably priced. It's not as expensive as some of those ones from France and Russia. And yes, it's up there in the taste. It's a rarity the way that they still their vodka. They put it in the copper classic pots. They still their vodka. That is such a rare thing. It gives it the flavor that's slightly sweet. It's got that light black pepper note. Balances everything out, whether you're making some drinks, crafting your own cocktails, or you're just sitting there drinking it neat. Tito's is simply the best. And also, there's another place that I kind of like. And if you head on over there, make sure you tell the bartender that you want some Tito's. And I'm talking about my friends over at RP Tracks. Food, wine, liquor, it's amazing. They got great appetizers. They got quesadillas, nachos. But when you're over there, make sure you get some Tito's vodka as well. The bar is open every night until 10. And I'm sure you know about the Tracks, Drew, being right by the University of Memphis. Did you ever go to RP Tracks?
Oh, all the time. We used to go there every time after initiation when I was in the fraternity. We'd always go there. Went there, probably played pool there a lot in college, especially when billiards shut down. Mm-hmm. It's one of only like 2 pool tables in the Highland Strip area. Love RP Tracks, dude. They're buffalo chicken tenders, they hit different. And the buffalo chicken quesadilla.
That's what I was about to say.
Man,
That's
you
my
get
favorite.
a Memphis Fireside with a buffalo chicken quesadilla as RP Tracks. You will thank me later.
And they also have great burger sandwiches, patty melts, all kinds of stuff. RP Tracks is the bomb. Just don't forget to get your Tito's vodka when you go there. Now, let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Now, the first thing I got to mention is kind of sad and important, but this man is literally a hero. I don't know where you start about his life. Rayford Johnson, Olympic stud. 1960, he got the gold medal in the decathlon. 1956, 4 years earlier, he won the silver in the same event. This is also the guy who ripped the gun away from Sirhan Sirhan, of course, who assassinated Robert Kennedy. He was the one who subdued Sirhan Sirhan. He took his gun and he put it in his own pocket to prevent any more violence. I don't know what to say about this guy. He was an actor. He was in, did you know he was in a James Bond movie?
I did not.
Yes, he was in a James Bond movie. He was also in Wild Country with Elvis Presley. He was in A License to Kill. That's the movie with James Bond, of course. And then this is the thing that also why I call him such a philanthropist. He also helped launch the Special Olympics in 1968 and co-founded the California Special Olympics in 1969 and worked there as the board of directors for 2 decades. So just a great man. Rest in peace, my friend. So many people owe just a mad tribute to you. Now, somebody got a big tribute that I don't think they deserve. And I'm going to bring it up right now, and I'm going to say this, and I hate to be this kind of person, but did you know that Lou Holtz, did you see what Lou Holtz was awarded by any chance?
I did not see. What happened?
Lou Holtz was given, it's the highest civilian, basically, thing you can get, not in the military. It's the Medal of Freedom. Donald Trump gave it to him and said that America recognized Lou Holtz as one of the greatest football coaches of all time for his unmatched accomplishments on the gridiron, but he's also a philanthropist, author, and true American patriot. Now, I'm not saying that Lou Holtz is some horrible person, but it just seems like this is the guy that spoke for you for all 4 years, was at the Republican National Convention, was talking for Lou Holtz, had a guy thrown out. I mean, this is like giving it to a friend than more so somebody who's doing a lot of great things.
Yeah, like that's the thing that I think about. I mean, regardless of how you lean politically, left, right, middle, regardless of that, aren't there like scientists and like people doing important stuff that we could give this medal to?
You know,
I know sports.
So.
I know athletes get it a lot. I know Tiger Woods got it a few years ago.
Roger Staubach. Yeah. I agree with all 3 of those, actually. I'm just saying that this one seems to me like the biggest, you scratch my back. Here, let me honor you. And the reason I bring that up is because I actually know a couple people who played with Lou Holtz. They never spoke very well about Lou Holtz. He was very, very he wasn't about your health. He was about winning. And I don't know. It just, for me, it's interesting. And the simple fact that he attacked Joe Biden about him being Catholic in only name and going off on just some of the things that Lou Holtz has said on ESPN over the years. And then he gets this gigantic medal, the Medal of Freedom.
I mean, there's kind of a reason why he's not on national broadcast anymore on ESPN.
Are you talking about his Hitler comment?
Yeah.
And the Nazis? Yeah. I mean, let's just be real. I just don't see honoring Lou Holtz right now with something like that. But hey, again, I guess I'm just a radio host and
to each
don't know
their
Jack.
own.
Yeah, to each
the president
their own.
wants to do that in the last month and a half that he has left. Good for him.
Now, I got some really crazy stuff. Do you remember Keith Appling, Michigan State?
Yes, I do.
Woohoo-wee. You know, he had a cup of coffee in the NBA back in the day. Do you know what he was sentenced to today?
What is that?
18 months probation. Holy cow. Let me tell you something. Homie dodged a bullet like I've never seen. Is Perry Mason, or what is it, Matlock? Is that one of his lawyers? or Jack McCoy from Law and Order. Like, what is going on? Let me tell you why I'm freaked out that he's only got 18 months of probation. Holy cow. Do you remember this story at all?
I somewhat remember, but go ahead and refill.
So my friend is in Warren, Michigan. It's February 8th. He gets pulled over from weaving all over the road. Like, the traffic stop looks horrible. He gets pulled over. The cops come up to the car, and they're like, and he's sweating. He's all woozy and messed up. They search the vehicle. They found, we're talking about not quite a baseball, but bigger than a golf ball, brick of heroin. Heroin. Just, that is like the devil. Okay? That stuff kills people, man. Like, you don't want to be chasing that dragon. That dragon's going to be chasing you. You aren't Daenerys Stormborn or whatever that is, where you can fly on the dragons from Game of Thrones. You are going to die. Keith Appling is busted with 19 grams, sandwich baggies, scales, and guess what else they find?
Ooh, I don't know, but right there, that's intent to sell right there if you have baggies and scales.
Oh, yes. I just don't understand. He's all messed up, got tons of drugs, and somehow only got 18 months of probation. Like, he was looking at some serious time, actually. I mean, that's intent with... he was charged with delivering or manufacturing less than 60 grams of a controlled substance. Think about that. They believed it was the intent to sell heroin, deliver or manufacture of less than 50 grams of this controlled substance. That is, you don't think of probation with that. And this is also the craziest thing. He was one of the best high school basketball players back in the day. He was named Mr. Michigan, Mr. Basketball in 2010. That's the state's top player. Played 4 years at Michigan State. Was a baller. Was one of the top scorers in school history. Only had a cup of coffee in the NBA. He's been playing overseas. I will tell you, do not substitute your income by selling death. Not very smart. You got lucky. If you screw up again because you're on probation, you are going to the pokey for real this time, Mr. Appling. Now,
I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. He got off lucky.
So mad lucky.
Only probation for 18 months?
18 months. That's not even a month per gram.
No.
And by the way, just so you know, I was reading, a gram is a lot.
Oh, yeah, it is.
A lot. So 19 of them is way too much. Now, do you believe this? Do you know Dellin Betances, the relief pitcher for the Mets?
Yeah, what about him?
Now, do you believe what he said? Do you know what he said? I mean, for the Yankees, Dellin Betances said he believes Tim Tebow is actually going to make the Mets roster in 2021. He says he's shown some good things this year. He's been working with them or whatever. And he says that he thinks that he's good enough. He's so dead-gum determined. His work ethic is better than anyone's. And when you see a guy that determined with his kind of raw ability, I think he will be starting in the majors for the Mets in 2021. Is Dellin Betances right now need a drug test? Is he high?
I don't know if he's high, but maybe he's blowing some smoke, the type of smoke, like Penny, we want all the smoke, blowing the smoke up Tim Tebow's butt about this, because while Tim Tebow is a good ball player, there's at least 1,000 minor league players that deserve a shot over Tim Tebow.
Yes, you are 100% right.
Now, if being the greatest person on the planet got you a spot in Major League Baseball, then sure, yeah, definitely. But last time I checked, it didn't.
Now, the cool thing, though, think about this, though. Dellin Betances has spent his whole career in New York. He was a Yankee from 2011, 2019. He's now a Met. Is this just kind of sucking up to a person that is going to be on your team and on your roster?
Not even going to be in your clubhouse.
Is the kind of a folk hero? Like, what is Dellin Betances doing?
I don't know. Maybe he just thinks Tim Tebow could actually make it. But from all reports that I've seen, and obviously I haven't watched every minor league game that he's ever played in, but statistic-wise, there's thousands of guys out there that's better than him.
I feel weird saying it, but if Dellin Betances is right, I will be absolutely shocked. Good luck, though, Timmy T. Now, Tyreek Hill Can you believe what he said? This was yesterday. He said basically he went on NFL Insider. Okay, he says when he first met Patrick Mahomes, and he doesn't mince words. He says, I thought he was straight up garbage. I couldn't believe the team drafted him in 2017. He was trash. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't even gonna cap. What? I don't know what was I ain't gonna cap. Because I was thinking, like, what is that? Help me out. 6712 is. If I ain't gonna cap, what ain't I doing?
I mean, in just somewhat of translation, it sounds like cap means lie. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
I guess.
But I mean, then again, there is actually some credits to his comments if he just said the first time he saw him, and that at Texas Tech. And if you remember with Coach McDreamy at Texas Tech, it was a real system type of offense where you could kind of throw anybody in there, and the type of offense that they ran, you were going to get a guy that threw for 200 to 300 yards a game. So there were questions about Patrick Mahomes coming out of that Red Raiders program because we didn't know how much of it was Mahomes and how much was the system that he was running. So I guess if he's looking at it on that side, then the Tyreek Hill comments have some manner to it.
It's kind of interesting, though, to even think about Patrick Mahomes not being impressive. And Tyreek Hill basically says, again, I'm not going to repeat all that stuff, but he also said, to add to it, like when I saw him in practice, I was like, dude, this is who y'all drafted right here? This is who y'all drafted? He proved me into a whole complete fool. I don't know how. Like, it's just the second year. Like, his quarterback mechanics were different. He spent a lot of time with the quarterback's coach. He spent more time with Coach Andy Reid. He was learning the offense. I was like, dude, this guy's different from who I first saw. The guy who I thought was trash. I don't know. When I saw those comments, I was just floored. Like, I didn't know that. I mean, after we saw him in year one win an MVP and then year two go win a Super Bowl, I was wondering what took him so long to pull the trigger on Alex Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but at the time, I think that it really did need that time to truly develop because, I mean, honestly, Tyreek Hill was there in the locker room on the practice field with Patrick Mahomes a lot more than me and you were.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
Maybe he really wasn't Patrick Mahomes type of level when he got there. He needed that time to learn. He needed those reps in practice to become who he is today.
So, I'm about to get to my two funny stories. My funny story, but before I get to my funny story, did you see Tommy Pham? We've been talking about him a lot this week after getting stabbed.
Yeah, he sued the strip club.
Suing the strip club, all kinds of things he's doing. But do you know what he posted this morning? He's like, I'm healthy. He posted a picture of him running 22 miles an hour on the treadmill. Bro, don't file a suit because of your injury and then the next day post a picture of you running 22 miles an hour on a treadmill.
Yeah, that doesn't really help out when you're suing for damages and loss of money for your baseball career.
Yeah.
Lost income if you're able to run at 22 miles per hour.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Tommy, I don't know what you're doing, Holmes. Good luck. By the way, Ravens, Steelers, rocking and firing. The game is on. We have Wednesday football, and it's 4th down and 5. The Steelers on the first drive of the game. Looks like they're going to have to punt. Now, we're going to come back, close things out, and I'm going to tell you my favorite story about why it's good. Nobody. I'm glad we don't smoke anymore. You'll definitely love this story. Don't touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5. Never forget Tito's Vodka, 96.1 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Spend the holidays at home this year with a little help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure has so many spas in stock and hundreds more on order. Now's your time to really save big. Huge savings on pool tables, game tables, arcades, massage chairs, and a whole lot more. Buy a pool now and save the 2021 price increase. Plus, you'll get early installation scheduling. The Holidays at Home sale happening now at Family Leisure, Whidden Road at I-40, where family and fun come together for the holidays.
So you're watching the game and you see another ad for FanDuel Sportsbook and you think to yourself, is that legal here in Tennessee? You bet it is. You can place your first bet on FanDuel Sportsbook risk-free and get up to $1,000 back if you don't win. Just place any bet you want. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, you'll get your entire bet up to $1,000 back in bonus site credit. And with FanDuel Sportsbook, generous risk-free bets are just the beginning. They've got a simple app, live betting on every game, and exhilarating bet types such as same-game parlays, where you combine multiple bets from one game into a single parlay. And once you win on FanDuel Sportsbook, they get you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. What I love about the app is it's so easy to use. It's easy to register, easy to deposit, easy to find your bet. To claim your risk-free bet, just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and be sure to sign up with promo code GASMAN so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code GASMAN. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789.
Memphis, it's official. Crab Kings is where it's at. The best seafood with 7 flavors to choose from. Try the shrimp and chicken pasta. Now available is the salmon and fried lobster pasta. Snow crab, king crab, dungeons and more. Fish platter, $9.99. Lobster tail, $10.99. Jumbo wings, 99 cents each. Download the app or search Crab Kings on Google. Visit us at crabkingstn.com. Crab Kings Seafood and Pasta, Memphis favorites. Memphis, it's official. Crab Kings is where it's at. The best seafood with 7 flavors to choose from. Try the shrimp and chicken pasta. Now available is the salmon and fried lobster pasta. Snow crab, king crab, dungeons and more. Fish platter, $9.99. Lobster tail, $10.99. Jumbo wings, 99 cents each. Download the app or search Crab Kings on Google. Visit us at crabkingstn.com. Crab Kings Seafood and Pasta, Memphis favorites.
Kick off your New Year's weekend at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Thursday, December 31st at 3 o'clock. Top teams from the SEC and Big 12 will be here. We'll be following all of the required health and safety guidelines to provide you the safest conditions possible. So wear your mask and join us at the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. For tickets, call 795-7700 or go to Ticketmaster.com. The Tennessee Highway Safety Office reminds you that fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, I started the first micro distillery in the state of Texas with my dog, Dog Joe, at my side. We're still working with dogs out at the distillery after all these years. Learn more about how dogs are a part of life here at Tito's Handmade Vodka at vodkafordogpeople.com. Tito's Handmade Vodka is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Yo, 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 welcome back into Little Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio and Drew Barrett. We're hanging out in the Family Leisure Studios. Of course, where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And also, never forget, what do? when you're heading home, make sure you pick up a handle of homemade vodka. That's right, Tito's. It's handmade. It's homemade. It's made right here in the US of A down in Austin, Texas. It is the best in the business. I'm telling you, it's stilled perfectly. They use the classic pot still method. That's so rare on the vodka scene, baby. Tito's handmade vodka. It's got that slightly sweet flavor with a little black pepper note. Balances everything out. Go make yourself a martini. If life hands you lemons, make it a lemon drop. Just make sure you use Tito's. I don't care if you're drinking it straight or whatever. You're going to absolutely love Tito's vodka. Get you a vodka and cranberry. Makes me think of 420 Dogface, the cranberry guy.
I'm a vodka Sprite guy myself.
Really?
Or I drink it neat. I drink everything neat.
Dude, Tito's is the best to drink neat. And again, it's crafted right here in the US of A. Now, do you want to know why I'm so grateful? It's cold outside. You know it's really cold, right?
Oh, I do.
But we don't have snow. And I'm
thank the Lord.
Very grateful that we don't have a lot of snow. Because there was a couple videos that caught my attention on the TikTok. There was a granny who was like clearing her driveway. She was like 80 years old. And that looks like some hard work. I don't think I could do it. She's tougher than I am. I mean, it was interesting. There was also a great one. I can't even mention that one. Never mind. There was a sad one though, where this man sitting here doing his snowblower, and I don't know why the neighbor's videotaping him, but the wife backed out and ran right over her husband. She didn't kill him, but dude, do you think he was trying, like hoping he was going to get killed and was like videotaping everything? I don't know, man, but that was a crazy video. But the one that I saw, and this is why you should not smoke anymore. And this is also why I'm grateful that as cold as it is in Memphis, we don't have snow. So my man in this video is smoking a heater. He is snow blowing his driveway. And he's got this big old machine. Have you ever seen a snow blower? They're very, very big. They shoot out all this stuff. It looks like they're shooting out like a snow, I guess, like a snow spray. It's like, whew, looks like a unicorn or something. I don't know. Anyway, so dude's snow blowing his driveway, and he pulls out a cigarette and he starts smoking a heater. Dude's like 80 years old. And then all of a sudden, boom. Dude, I think the gas from the snowblower or the fumes or whatever, I don't know. They say it was kind of a freak accident, but it went kaboom. Like the whole thing blew up. So not only does it stink to be cold, but at least it's cold in Memphis. Like when you go to FedEx Forum, you aren't going to be fighting any precipitation. Tigers, Arkansas State, you don't have to worry about blowing your driveway. But the key here is don't smoke heaters. Because if you're smoking heaters by something that holds a lot of gas, that thing can go kaboom. Speaking of going kaboom, don't take tonight. Do not take tonight the Memphis Tigers laying the 20.5. I don't think that the Tigers are going to be even in fear of losing. I think they have a slight chance of covering. But 20.5 points is a whole lot for this Memphis basketball team. There's going to need to be a lot of answers. Is Boogie still going to come off the bench? Is Moussa Cisse going to start looking like a dominant basketball player in the college game and start taking that step from a high school kid from Lausanne to a college basketball player at the University of Memphis? Is DJ Jeffries going to come back and wake up? Is Landers Nolley going to be the alpha dog that I think he can be and needs to be on this basketball team? Dadgummit, I hope so. And what are they going to do with Alo? Where's Ball going to be? There's so many questions. Tonight, you're going to get the answers, 7 o'clock. Memphis Tigers, facing Arkansas State Tigers right now, 1-2. Arkansas State 0-2. Tigers look to get back to 500. Again, the line is 20.5. Woo! Ravens playing the Steelers for a little hump day football in the middle of the afternoon. Do you like it? Do you like it? It's on NBC. But don't you be like looking at that. You can just sit here and listen to Sports 56 because Wolo and Stats, they're coming up next. Also, I got a little word of advice. If you need to sell your home, simple, 901-406-1101. Call Bill at I Buy Houses. Bing, bang, boom. Just sold your house. Any house, any area, as is. As simple as that. 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. I got to roll. I'm going to head to the liquor store and pick up some, handmade vodka. Tito's. It is a hump day tradition, kind of, if you know what I'm saying. I got my workout in already. I'm ready to go watch some football and have a couple cocktails. Y'all enjoy. Let's go, Steelers. Wolo and Stats are next.
Hey, whoa. Let's go, Ravens. Come on.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's Drew, the Ravens fan. Y'all be good out there. Make sure you get out there and make the world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Ain't nobody